Hello Year 4 and welcome to the second part of today's maths lesson, which is going to be on problem solving. It's really important that in your maths resources that you access the problem solving questions, because once you've got the basic fluency of how to do a maths skill, you need to start applying this by answering a variety of problems, and this will work your brain a lot harder. So here I have a table and some of my boxes are empty. I can see that in this row, in this column even, is the fraction. In this column is the written word, and in this column is the fraction of a shape which is shaded, which is what we've been working on today. Now, we need to work with the information that we've got to try and find the missing boxes. Now, in this row here, I can see that I've been given the fraction, I've not been given the word, and I've not been given the shaded shape. So I know that I need to fill in my word and my fraction. So if my fraction is 9 out of 10, how could we write that? We could write that as 9/10. Take the top number first and then the bottom number, the numerator first and then the denominator. So we could write that as 9/10. Now, if we are looking at our shape, we can see that in our rectangle, it's been split up into 10 pieces. Now, we know that 9 of those pieces should be shaded. So in our first row, we have written 9/10 and we have shaded in 9 out of the 10 pieces. So we have shown 9/10 as a shape. For the second row, we have not been given a fraction and we have not been given a word. We've just been given the area that is shaded. Now, to work out the fraction, can you remember what we need to do? That's right. We know that our denominator is how many parts we have all together. So we can count these first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know that it's going to be something over 6. What does my numerator represent again? That's right, it represents how many that I have shaded, or how many that I've got. Now, I have shaded in 3 parts. So I know that I have shaded in 3 out of 6 parts. And as a word, we can take the numerator and say it first, 3, and then take the denominator and it will be 6. So we have found 3/6 from a shape. Okay, the final example is the same. We don't have our fraction and we don't have our words. We just have the shape. So, how many parts do we have all together? 5, fantastic. And how many parts are shaded? 2. So we know that 2 out of the 5 parts are shaded. So we can take the words by looking at the top number, my numerator, which is 2, and my denominator, which is 5, so that would be 2/5. Super work, Year 4. We have got one more problem solving question, but this time it's a reasoning one. And that means when it's a reasoning question, it will always ask you to explain your reasoning using that magic word because. Let's read the question first and then we can answer it together. Sally has picked some flowers. So you can see here she's got a mix of 2 different types of flowers here. And she says, I can use a unit fraction to describe the sunflowers. Do you agree? And explain your reasoning. First of all, though, I need to understand what a unit fraction is. Year 4, can you remind me what's a unit fraction? That's right, a unit fraction is a fraction where the numerator, my top number, is 1. Now, how many sunflowers do I have? Because now we need to make a fraction, don't we? So how many sunflowers do I have here? That's right, I can see I've got 3 sunflowers. My sunflowers are this one, it's got yellow petals. Now I've got 3 out of how many? How many flowers do I have altogether, including the second type of flower? That's right, I have 7 flowers altogether. So my fraction to describe the sunflowers would be 3/7. I have got 3 sunflowers out of 7. Now, is that a unit fraction, 3/7? No, it's not, is it? What type of fraction is it? It's a non-unit fraction because the numerator is greater than 1. So, do you agree with what Sally has said? No, I don't agree either. So we don't agree, but we need to say why. And what we can say is that 3/7 of the flower, so 3 out of 7 of the flowers are sunflowers, which is a non-unit fraction, and that's all you have to say. This is your second sheet for today then, your reasoning and problem solving questions. So there seems to be a bit of confusion at the moment with these, that some children are completing both. Now that's okay, but you don't have to, okay? So you choose either the blue problem solving questions, which have the blue star here, or the orangey yellow problem solving questions which have the star here. Now it's entirely up to you which ones you do. These ones are trickier, the orange ones are trickier. So if you start with the trickier ones, and then you can always go back and do the less tricky ones if they're too tricky for you, all right? But you don't need to do both. Remember, when it says explain your reasoning, you need to explain using the word because. And I don't want anyone to be explaining their answer in the little box here unless you have room at the bottom of your sheet, okay? Because you need to use the whole space to be able to correctly and effectively write out your answer. All right, Year 4? Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you in tomorrow's maths lesson. Bye, Year 4.